Tubesters, it's Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. Today we will be looking at a small review of some 28mm Napoleonic front rank British from the roughly the 100 days campaign. I suppose that's what most people would probably use them for, because they've got the Belgique shako on them. Done the usual Gav ordering cock up again. I mean, I'm a commission painter. It's a lot easier when people send me figures rather than allowing me to purchase my own, because it just goes out the window. Everything goes wrong. I'm ordering one unit, just one, with a few little extras around, but that's all I wanted, and I still managed to stuff that up, so I've got to reorder. Oh dear. And they always make more money out of me, because while you're reordering you think, well, you know, I might as well make the order up with a few extra here and there. Anyway, you know the score. So what I've done is I wanted the majority of them to have the shako cords showing, and a few just here and there with the waterproof covers on. And I've managed to, for some reason, order, instead of ordering a centre company with waterproof covers and one of the flank companies, and then hold back the extra figures for another day, I've only ordered one whole company completely, a flank company completely in waterproof covers. So I'd have the entire regiment with cords showing, and then this company at the end with not. Which, to be honest with you, companies in an infantry battalion can be fairly autonomous. You know, when it's then or now. You know, the company commander has a fair amount of sway over his little domain. So there's no reason to say that he hasn't ordered all his guys to wear them, but this isn't my narrative. This is just a unit to sell, so it's got to look, you know, it's got to look the part really. So join me down at the workbench, and we'll have a look at these figures. Yes, they're front rank again. Yes, they're Napoleonic, but they are British, which is a slight difference. I have got some other things to show and tell coming up, which aren't Napoleonic related, but we'll cover those on another video. So join me down at the workbench, guys, and we'll take a look at these figures. See you in a minute. Right, guys, thanks for joining me at the desk. Now I've got this new overhead camera mount, which makes things slightly better, although it's mainly used for a mobile phone, to film off a mobile phone, and I use a video camera, so it's a bit weighty and it does tend to move ever so slightly. But you can always guarantee Gav's got the big production values on his channel. I've managed to invest a whole 11 quid with free postage on that one, so you can't ask for too much. Right, these are, I should have said before, these are going to be in a firing pose. I haven't done a firing pose before. I do apologise if things are a bit out of focus, not so much out of focus, but my hands move the figure out of shot. It's mainly because obviously I've never used this thing before, apart from a couple of trial runs. There will be, I keep promising, not that you're all rushing for it, but I have been promising to do some tutorials. I did a trial one, and although the tutorial was fine, I couldn't find on my computer where I could do a voiceover on it, so that was another aborted attempt. So I am trying on your behalf, and we'll get there sooner rather than later, but so there will be some tutorials coming. Anyway, back to the usual subject. As you can see, there is some, you know, little casting worms, as I call them. Nothing huge. He's obviously just about to open his cartridge box up. I think the shako's done very nicely. Obviously there's going to be, I've got two lights on this, so the glare is going to be a bit much. But yeah, very nice. Hardly any mould lines. These are fairly fresh, I would have thought, out of moulds anyway, these reinforcement packs, so you wouldn't expect them to be too scabby. Nice face details again that you can get some paint on, get some shadows in there, and they'll look very tasty. Let's see, where are we, Gav? Here we go. Sorry about this. As I say, it's a whole new experience for all of us. Again, tiny bit on the bayonets. You can always, if the bayonets are too chunky for you, obviously you can just fire them down. got the nice sideburns that they had. Again, I wanted to split these up a bit, have some with the shako cords and some not. I mean, a lot of the guys, especially when they're on the plastic fronts, they'll obviously like the shako covers, because obviously it makes it a lot quicker to do your unit. But as I say, as a commission painter and somebody who will just be putting these on either on eBay to sell, or let's get this back in view again, it keeps wanting to move. I've got the luxury of spending more time on mine. I'm not having to do 2 or 3 brigades of these guys. So, and that's, I should have said, this is one of the flank companies. Now it does actually say which one, and unfortunately I can't remember what the codes are in relation to what company, so we'll just call him a flank company. But, yeah, there's the firing pose. We've got a ramming home the ball. As I say, I do apologise for the seasickness. I've actually got a camera stand and I'm moving it around like we're on board a sailing ship in a North Sea gale. But as I say, it's all new to me. So he's ramming home. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's probably just pulling the. He's cocking it, ready to fire, I'd imagine. Again, so you've got in this pack, and this is B13, which is, as I say, a flank company. You've got 2, 3, 4. You've got 6 figures, 2 firing, 1 ramming the ball home, 2 with the you can say cocking the musket, and 1 reaching in his cartridge for his cartridges. So I think that's a nice group difference. B12, I'm not going to get them all out particularly because they're all the same, roughly the same, obviously poses, but obviously without the flank company wings on their shoulders, as he says, and this is a flank company. We'll get right in a minute. But again, there's hardly any cleanup in these whatsoever. Again, lovely face details. You can make the face as old as you and young as you like. Put a bit of French grey in whatever your last flesh tone is, and it'll give you a nice 5 o'clock shadow rather than one of these Fred Flintstone type looks. Let's have a look at the commands. I think all the others are all the same apart from having the wings on them. So again, let's adjust this camera as he wants to move. I'm going to have to do something about that. One of the officers. Classic rallying the men, if you want to put it that way. Again, very little flash mould lines. You're always going to get a small mould line, obviously, but nothing that just a plain scalpel will put right for you. Here we've got our drummer. And again, the good thing with the front rank is for all you guys that don't want to do the straight lines on your drummers, they're already cast on, so you can't go wrong. It's they're already there for you. It's like when they do an NCO. Let's get this guy here. This is your sergeant. He's got the spittoon. Is it spittoon or the pike? I can't remember what they blooming call it now. But obviously here's your sergeant in the usual pointy pose as most of these guys seem to be done in. Obviously you've got to take that off at the base there, a bit of a worm, but you can see his sergeant stripes there, this bit here. So again, you know, you don't have to worry if you're a bit worried about doing, you know, straight lines again. They're already cast on for you. Got the ensigns, colour bearers. I think that's a particularly nice, nice pose. Again, just the odd little worm that you just take off with your scalpel or your modelling knife, whatever you prefer. Never done no British front rank before, so it was a nice treat to do these. I thought I'd treat myself because I like doing red coats. The lace can be a bit of a bugbear on the cuffs and that, but I must admit I like just doing the colour, you know, because I like to do them like a nice orangey red. These guys will be in obviously the dark grey trousers compared to the warm whites that I might have done for the peninsula or other places of the warmer climes. Might think of myself doing some of those Perry very early Napoleonics and French Revolutionary where they've got them in Egypt and that. That'd be quite nice. And again, the usual pose, you know, it's they are what they are. With Napoleonics, it's sword held up in air, sergeants pointing. It would be nice if they would do some slightly different poses, you know what I mean, rather than just the standard rallying type things, you know. But even still, again, lovely facial details again. So guys, I'll just quickly show. Well, those are the as we're getting into shot. Those are you get the wire poles with these guys, which is good. So he's faffing around. These are just to give you an idea. This is one of the older figures. Are they slightly more chubbier in the face? I would say maybe so. It's got the cover on that I was mentioning earlier. It's sometimes nice to put two drummers in a unit, you know, one in one of the other companies as a company drummer. So I got him as an extra just in case I wanted to do that. A couple of officers here again. With the Belgic shako pointing, Belgic shako covered pointing, you know, that's what people used to say about or been saying, you know, of late about the front rank poses, you know, that they were quite, you know, samey, but they're still lovely, you know. I'll just quickly show you this guy here. This is one, if you remember, I cocked up, completely stuffed up. I put two colour bearers, I believe, in this unit. I think, and I've this was a tutorial I've done, and I can't get any sound on. So but what I'm trying to say is he's an old style pose, but they still come up really nice with a bit of attention to detail. You know, nice. You'll notice with my stuff when it's Napoleonics, I don't dirty them up unless I'm painting for a client and they ask for it. I just prefer to have them clean, even if they're in a campaign dress. I still prefer the actual uniforms to be clean. I just think they stand out nice on a base. That's just my own personal preference. But I'm just saying, like, this is a guy that's painted up. Let's just quickly put this officer next to him. God, trying to work this new camber angle out is a nightmare for me and you. There you go. You know, so it's, you know, you can get a lovely figure, if I do say so myself, you know, from these sculpts. So guys, thank you very, very much for stopping by and taking a look. It's always appreciated when you stop by and watch one of my videos. as he moves the camera yet again. This is definitely going to have to be sorted out because I can't keep doing this. So let's just get in on him here. So guys, as I say, thanks a lot. I'm waffling, I know, and trying to operate a camera at the same time. I'm not going to edit this. This is one day I will actually get one of those editing programs and start editing, but I've always said, you know, painting is my business, painting is my hobby. I see he's going out of focus already as the camera starts moving. I'm trying to improve my videos bit by bit. They're never going to be all singing or dancing. I can't see it. It's just not my style. You know, well, not my style. I just haven't got the interest in. I haven't got the money for a start to do all the fancy bits and pieces, and I haven't got even the energy to want to spend hours and hours, you know, cutting videos, splicing them together, adding this, that, and the other to make them look good. I take my hat off to all you guys that do it. So you know, you stop by on one of Gav's videos, and it's always going to be rough and ready. But as I say, you have to take it and leave it. So guys, third time, thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look, and we will catch each other very soon on another video.